Hello, it's Brian here, and Stacey and I are at the Cowpens Battlefield National Park up here around Spartanburg, and not exactly sure where we are. We're going to sit down some long road, but we're going to check out the visitor center. A little ways back we saw, was it Redcoat Road?
Yeah, that was like a residential street called Redcoat Road.
That is awesome. They have a nice visitor center. This monument was dedicated in 1932 in recognition of all the men who fought at the Battle of Cowpens. Stacy found this. I didn't even know about it.
It was a sign on the road, and I had to use the restroom anyway, and I'm like, oh, the battlefield. And I've heard of Cowpens, but I didn't remember it being Revolutionary War, so that's how not up to date I am on it. I was like, just assuming because we were in South Carolina that was a Civil War thing.
Right, you see tons of Civil War stuff, but Revolutionary War stuff is not as common. Let's go learn something about the Battle of Cowpens.
Okay.
Ooh, cool doors. That is cool. They have a film and a museum.
It's like on the guide of the damage I can do with
Oh, I love when they have the displays.
Take a look at the muskets, because I think people are confused about what a musket is. Like, I think some people who maybe don't support our Second Amendment rights think a musket is just some little toy thing. These are muskets.
Yeah. These, ladies and gentlemen, are muskets.
And I would like to say that without being like, these are muskets.
Ooh.
This is a reproduction of a British cannon. So you can see how light they are. You can carry a cannon like this on horseback.
Wow.
They are nicknamed a grasshopper because of their appearance.
The Battle of Cowpens lasted 18 minutes. So yeah, this is a place you should definitely come and see. This is cool.
This is the kind of battle I can deal with. It's 18 minutes long. It's 5 steps. You want to figure out Gettysburg, it takes like months.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Chickamauga. They have many displays behind glass. This is cool. I really love history. I really love history. And, you know, this is a place, if you happen to be in the Spartanburg area, come up to Cowpens and check it out. It's awesome.
The British guys were lining up still because they were fighting in that long
Right.
line, and they were still getting organized when the militia attacked. And then the guys who were lining up pursued the militia guys, and they didn't like wait for orders, and it was sort of a melee.
Ooh.
It sounds like.
Like the British way of fighting worked over there. It didn't really work over here. Can't really get a good shot of this because of the glare, but
Look, here's an old-timey Revolutionary War period toy.
Ooh.
Which I do not seem to have the eye-hand coordination for, but I assume you're doing this kind of action.
This builds dexterity for your child in a way that his cell phone cannot.
I would like to get it in there for like drama, but it's like tetherball. Maybe you could.
It's no wonder our ancestors were such good fighters. Look at their toys.
Oh, I did it! Yay. Battle tactics involve using small swales in the deceivingly flat land hit the troops.
Ooh.
Well, it's funny because if you
Showtime.
learn history almost from the average, you probably not.
Wow, what a great movie. All right, now we just saw a 20-minute movie about this battle that told what happened. I'm going to show you the battlefield. Right here's where all that took place. It was cold, it was in the wintertime, and they almost lost. There was the Continentals fighting the Redcoats, and it almost came crashing down. But the Minutemen, the militia, the farmers, the regular people that were fighting with them, they were volunteers. They came in at the last moment and helped them win the battle. Otherwise, the South very well could have stayed under British rule.
Yeah, there was cavalry action too, though. That was important.
Yeah, the cavalry was there.
And the militia's not dependable. So, like, the commander, the Morgan guy, he was really important at, like, rallying everybody and making the militia feel included, because it's very easy for a militia person to desert because they're not regular army. They could just go back home and what are you going to do?
And they were scared, but Morgan, he gave them a pep talk the night before, and
like in Henry V, kind of one of those battle Agincourt speeches. And I guess they could hide how low their numbers were, and they could hide for like the sneak attacks because the terrain looks flat, but it's actually rolling. So the Colonel Morgan, Daniel Morgan, he like could hide one of the lines of people.
Yeah. It's cool. There's a 1 mile loop around the battlefield, and it's what we're walking on. Looks like asphalt, but there is concrete under it, but it's a kind of a rubbery turf, so it's easy on your feet.
You can see the terrain. Like now we're in the woods.
This battle happened a long time ago.
1781.
1781.
So this is where the camps were. The camps were nearby.
Ooh, fun.
They camped nearby without tents and waited for dawn.
In January, it was bitterly cold. Historic Green River Road. That's what we're walking on, and it's pea gravel.
Being fast because the battlefield closes to traffic at 5. So if you're here after hours, you can park down the street and still walk to this part, but the visitor center is not open.
Yeah, so we have to get this done quickly.
Okay, this is important. Daniel Morgan chose this ground for its tactical advantages, a river to the rear to discourage the ranks from breaking, rising ground on which to post his regulars, and an open forest, and march on one side just to thwart flanking maneuvers.
Nice. And you can see the terrain of the overall terrain of the place. The road that we're walking on cuts right through the middle of it.
Yeah, there's Green River Road, which is what we're on right now.
Sweet.
One nice thing about this battlefield is because it was a short 18-minute battle, the battlefield scope is pretty narrow. And if you're not really interested in tons of like battlefield, like the theater of war and all those tactics, it's really condensed, so you can sort of get a lot out of it in a small space.
Yeah, and not have to walk yourself to
think too
death.
hard. Yeah, you don't have to walk too. You have to think too hard.
Like Chickamauga, which is a Civil War battlefield, and is great, but it is expansive. It's
And
easy
here's
to
the
cover.
trail for the other parking lot.
Oh,
So
okay.
I
Yeah.
guess you can park off and walk through here. To get
Cool.
to the trail.
And then the dragoons came. The open forest proved well suited for cavalry action. Fast-moving, hard-hitting mounted troops called light dragoons bolstered the 18th century infantry. Guess I should proofread before I read, huh? This is interesting here. At least 70 South Carolina and Georgia mounted militiamen armed with pistols and sabers issued for this use in this campaign augmented the veteran 80-plus American dragoons. Those were people. That wasn't the army, right? Those were the Continentals.
Wait, what's your question?
The militiamen were the just.
I don't think the militiamen had bayonets. And in battles like this, bayonets are really important. So they just had like normal muskets. The footprints on this ground approximate the position of one man in the Continental Army. The height of the common soldier was 5'5", so not too much off for me. So you would stand like this.
Interesting.
And this comes off,
So Stacey's got a wooden musket.
and my feet are stand in a Revolutionary Soldier's footprints. This is.
Cool. Got something up here. I don't know. It's a path up to it. And here we have the Washington Light Infantry Monument. Ah,
Oh, this was erected in 1856 near the final stages of the Battle of Cowpens.
another marker. Ooh, sharpshooters. Wow.
I think it's fun that you can sort of line up with these cutouts and get a feel
Yeah.
of what we're doing. I think that's a really brilliant idea.
And over 200 years ago, this is exactly, in this field is where the battle actually took place. Americans against the British. Right here, right on this ground. It's just absolutely beautiful out here.
Yeah, it's a paradise.
Now, of course, on the day of the battle, it was January and it was bitterly cold, but it sure is a nice place in the summertime. Look at just the rolling hills.
Yeah, 'cause this is a walk. It's almost 1 mile, and it is very doable. Like,
Yeah.
and there's plenty of places to stop
Oh yeah, there's benches all through.
if you got tired or too hot or something. There's the jogger. So this is just telling us that in 1781, this field was a grassy meadow dotted with tall hardwoods, native grasses, and cane. Today, the land is being restored to its appearance at the time of the battle. So they show like a burn off here. We saw something similar in Chickamauga, like the National Park Service is trying to make the battlefields look like they did at the
Yeah.
time. And I think that helps us with understanding.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
Well, certainly it helps you picture what happened better. They lost, the Americans lost like 20 men, and they took 200 British prisoners that day. But the British general, who had already like burned down a couple of towns on their way to this battlefield, according to the guy in the film, was a monster. He had just like plundered and burned towns all on his way here. He got away. So, but they did take a lot of prisoners that day. The British Army.
The green uniform.
Interesting, yeah. You think of them as redcoats, all redcoats, but he's wearing green. And he's got a horse, so I guess
That's
he's
a uniform for the Legion Cavalry. This is light infantry. This is Royal Artillery. Fusiliers, I don't know what those are, and Highlanders, I'm assuming, are Scottish.
Tartalen. He was the one that got away.
Check this out.
Ooh.
Native cane restoration project. So this must be sugar cane. Cane brake. Okay, river cane is a native bamboo that played a significant role in the outcome of the Battle of Cowpens, flanked by impenetrable river cane pickets called cane brakes. On both sides, British troops advancing down Green River Road found themselves channeled into a head-on attack by Continentals and militia. So they were sort of funneled because they didn't want to chomp through all this
Right.
river cane. River cane is being replanted and managed for expansion in areas of interpretive value and historic significance.
Cool. But this is important because I think that Revolutionary War understanding of it, I think, is becoming hazy and murky. It's kind of overshadowed now by the Civil War, and like people don't really understand the armies and everything that happened and transpired back in those days now.
That's one of the things that kind of saddens me about Robert E. Lee, is because he was a descendant of Revolutionary War heroes and like a descendant of George Washington, a relative of George Washington. And it's like he's only known for, like, his family was significant to American history outside of the Civil War. We enjoyed it very much, and we recommend you stop if you were on the 85 going north or south in South Carolina.
Right on. Don't forget to like and subscribe. One last thing. This was critical to the story, where Colonel Howard misunderstood an order. Just pause and read it.